In May of 2016, NVIDIA released the GTX 10 series, their most powerful GPU lineup of the time, and people were ecstatic about these video cards releasing. Not only were they the most powerful GPUs aimed towards consumers at the time, but they beat out NVIDIA's previous by about 40 to 60% for performance-wise. And in case you didn't know, that's a lot of power. And with all of that, it's not an exaggeration to say that the NVIDIA Pascal architecture did leaps and bounds for PC gaming. And while NVIDIA 10 series of graphics cards are sufficing for now, it was over 2 years ago that they released them. So that poses the question, when will NVIDIA release their new lineup of GPUs? I'm not thinking about it too much, 'cause I know I like what I like. So when will NVIDIA release their new Volta technology? Well, the time between NVIDIA's release of their 900 series and the release of their 10 series was less than 2 years, with NVIDIA's 900 cards being released in September of 2014, and the GTX 1080, 1070, and 1060 were all released during the summer of 2016. So it's safe to assume that we can expect the Volta series or the 11 series sometime in the near future, right? Well, not so fast. During a Computex briefing back in June, a lot of hopeful people waiting for NVIDIA's new GPUs were let down when NVIDIA said that their new 11 series hardware won't show up for a long time, which sounds like spring or even summer of 2019. And while some of you may be outraged to hear that, NVIDIA actually had pretty good reasoning behind not releasing their GPUs. So first off, and probably the most obvious reason why NVIDIA won't release their new GPUs anytime soon, is because of the entire mining situation that has caused GPU prices to skyrocket. Back in the summer of 2017, when crypto mining started gaining in popularity, crypto miners would buy out the stock of graphics cards, use them for crypto mining, and then once they were worn out and unusable, would sell the same used graphics card for a much higher price. This process was called price gouging, and as a result, for a majority of 2017, we only saw graphics cards at astonishingly high prices. For example, cards like the 1070 were costing upwards of $700 or $800 when you could buy them at normal price for $380. And although prices have dropped down to normal for the most part, even now, looking on websites like Amazon and Newegg, it's difficult to find a GTX 1060 6GB model for under $300. So even though the new NVIDIA Volta technology is considered overdue by some, and a lot are expecting a release date soon, why would NVIDIA release new graphics cards into this whole crypto mining mess when it would be a much better idea and make a lot more sense to produce more of the current 10 series cards to combat the price gouging and hopefully get the current 10 series cards down to a more normal price tag? The answer is they wouldn't. And they probably aren't going to, at least for the time being. Another reason that NVIDIA may not release new GeForce cards anytime soon is simply because NVIDIA is still making a lot of money out of their 10 series cards. According to ExtremeTech.com, NVIDIA sold almost $1 billion worth of graphics cards in 2017, and people are still buying 1080s, 1070s, and 1060s. So for NVIDIA, it would be more strategical and cost-efficient for them to wait until their sales for the Pascal cards start to go down than to release their Volta technology right away. So for those of you who are saving their money for NVIDIA's new Volta chipset, you might have to wait a long time for those cards to be released. However, not all hope is lost. NVIDIA never specified when we would see their new Volta technology, and they didn't even suggest a timeline or period for when they would be released. So as far as we're concerned, their graphics cards could come out as soon as September of 2018. But we better throw in October, November, December, and the first half of 2019 just to be safe. In the meantime, for those of you who are saving up their money for the Volta series, NVIDIA's Pascal architecture is by no means underpowered or last gen, with cards like the 1080 Ti being able to run most games in at least 1440p 60fps, if not 4K. So buying a Pascal card with the money you have might not be a bad idea, especially since we might be waiting a while for Volta to drop. And that's all I have for today's video. I hope it was informative to you guys. If you liked it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more posts from me in the future. That's all from me, but I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.